Hey, what's going on, guys? Getting back to you with another upload of Farming Simulator 22 gameplay, and it's definitely been a hot minute since I've uploaded anything. Um, the rest of uh, 2021 was rather challenging for our family farm this year, uh, from start to finish, really. And I just kind of want to do a little bit of a 2021 summary and just kind of go into a little discussion on, from start to finish, how things went, what we went through, and just kind of what we experienced over the course from spring to the end of harvest. So for the beginning of 2021 spring, um, we were actually able to get in the field on time, and we were able to get, get quite a bit planted. We were actually able to get most of the sandy ground planted before we started to get some pretty crazy rains. So we started out the spring pretty good, um, but towards the end of the planting season, we started to get rain showers that were just they weren't good rain showers. It was too much water. We were getting anywhere from 5+ inches of rain, you know, from time to time. Not every single rain shower was like that, but um, we did get a pretty heavy soaker, and then after that, we started getting little rain showers. It just kept on adding to the total rainfall that we were getting. So, unfortunately, some of our fields we actually had to plant when it wasn't actually the driest. It wasn't like miserably wet, but it was, wet enough to kind of make it a challenge. So, um, we wrapped up spring, planting season, and when we did, it was miserably wet. Um, but then things started to kind of turn off dry for us, so we were kind of hoping for some rain to pass through. Well, I guess we'd kind of hoped a little too much, and we ended up getting a soaker that put about 8 inches of water on the ground. Now, at this point in time of spring, we had some crops that were coming up. They were looking really good and pristine. They looked really healthy. They had a really good start. And then we got that heavy downpour that I just mentioned, and everything, in a nutshell, basically died. It got drowned out, and they just looked awful. Some of the fields that we had that were coming up that were looking really good, we were really excited because, we hadn't seen a crop that looked that good in a while, and then they just got completely drenched on with rain and um, ended up basically, in a nutshell, ended up dying. So um, yeah, so we were basically putting up with wet conditions from that point on. Then it started to get a little on the dryish side. Well, then it would rain again, and we would get way too much rain. And basically, from I want to say, well, I'd say August, basically up until the end of the year, it was constantly wet. We were up on the sand starting harvest because that was what we planted first, and it wasn't too bad on the sand. But once it started raining and that clay ground really started to uh, get soaked, it was just a miserable harvest as well. In fact, we actually had to let 40 acres, or we were gonna try and let 40 acres freeze up so that we could get it shelled and not have to worry about rutting the field up. But it just never got dry. There was no proper time or opportunity to try and get in the field. It was just a constant battle. So we ended up finishing up harvest on December 23rd at about 9:30 at night. Um, the whole farm was a grand total of about 60 to 65 acres, and we had the middle of it shelled off, and then we decided to quit because we decided that it was just too muddy, and that things were just going to have to freeze up. So we waited and we waited and we waited. While we were waiting, we actually got some pretty bad. Um, we actually got some pretty bad wind storms that had come through. I mean, we had 60+ mile an hour windstorms um, that were just awful. So we ended up giving it another try, and we had found that the corn was actually starting to fall over from the wind. So the east side of the field was worse than the west side of the field. So our main goal was to just get the east side of the field off, and then let the rest of the field freeze, so that we didn't have to rut up any more than what we already were. Um, so we got the east side off, and then we made a couple passes on the west side, and um, we found some pockets here and there of corn that was starting to fall over. So that was when we had made the decision to just keep on going that day and to just get the corn all off before any more corn got knocked over. But I'm telling you what, guys, I have been pretty fortunate in my years of growing up on the farm to be able to, have, good harvests with Dad and not have to worry about shelling corn that's down or having to fight the mud or water or anything like that. But let me tell you what, this year was definitely, challenging. I found out the hard way that I am no good at shelling corn that is down. It is miserable. It is a bitch, and I would not wish it upon anybody. It's a pain in the ass, and um, from the moment that I got up into the combine until the moment that I turned the key off, my heart was pumping the whole time. I was a nervous wreck, and I was just praying and praying and praying that I was not going to get the combine stuck, because we were even having issues getting through the field, even in four-wheel drive at times. So, and to top it all off, it was dark too. So the last thing I wanted to do was to get the combine stuck at like 9 o'clock at night. So, um, needless to say, the end of harvest definitely could have been better. Um, I do got to say, this is probably one of the wettest harvests that I've ever experienced, and out of all the years of growing up on the farm and farming with Dad. I do got to say that this is definitely probably one of the most miserable harvests that we've ever had, and I always look forward to harvest. I mean, who doesn't? But it was definitely one that we're gonna definitely remember and talk about, in future years to come. Uh, I'm glad that we were able to get things wrapped up when we were able to. We were able to get everything done before Christmas, before the new year started, and hopefully 2022 is a lot better. Uh, really hoping that the weather cooperates a little bit better next year, and really hope that Mother Nature's on our side next year, and that we can have a little bit better weather conditions when it comes to being in the field, and just hope things are not as stressful as they were uh, before this past year, because like I said, it was definitely a challenging and rough uh, year. Definitely going to be one to remember. And when people bring up 2021, we're definitely going to remember that season. So other than that, things have been pretty slow. Now that winter time's here, we're getting corn hauled, and got the planter in the barn. Gonna be tearing into that here soon to see what that needs. And but staying busy. We got some snow here a while ago, and so I've been plowing snow, trying to stay warm. It's been extremely cold here past couple weeks. We've been getting down into the single digits and down into the negatives with the wind chill. So trying to stay warm and trying to stay busy. So just kind of wanted to give you guys a update on what was going on, and the reason that there wasn't any more uploads of harvest the rest of this year was because, one, it was dragged out for such a long period of time, and two, there's just certain times and certain things that you just don't want to record. And when I was up in that combine, um, taking the last of the corn off in that mud and water and slop, I wanted to make sure that I was 110% focused on what was going on, around me and my surroundings. So it just wasn't the proper time. I probably could have did a little video just to kind of show you what we were, dealing with and whatnot. But it just wasn't the proper time. So I do apologize for that. And as far as the mowing business go, the mowing business went pretty good. Made a pretty decent profit this year, and then did make some business purchases this year, but that's going to be in videos coming up here later on. And then probably be sharing some updates with you here about the farm here in a little bit after this video. So yeah, overall 2021, not the greatest year as far as weather goes. The whole year from spring to fall was just miserable. So hoping next year's different, and hoping next year we have a good drier fall, so that way we can get done with harvest like before Thanksgiving, like we usually do. So that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I want to thank you guys, again for watching, and I'm gonna try to upload a little bit more, this winter. Try to get some more videos out of, Farming Simulator 22 and make some update videos, because some things did happen for my business and for Dad, but they're not finalized yet, not set in stone yet. So until the time comes, I'll make a video about it then. But until then, guys, I hope everybody's doing well, and hope everybody's staying warm and having a good New Year. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, and don't forget to leave your comments down in the comments section down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you have a quick second, hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date with what's going on here on the channel. So until next time, guys, hope everybody is doing well, and we will see you on the next upload.